Alright, so I just got the new shop set up, so I'm going to go ahead now and do a video on changing and balancing a tire. So stay tuned and hope you guys like it. Okay, so what I got here is it's just a tire off a Honda Fit, so it shouldn't be too hard to change this one over. You got these weights on both sides of the wheels. This is a weight hammer, specifically for weights, removing weights and installing weights. So just go in behind, pop it off. I usually pop these off first so they don't get in the way of the bar when you're taking the wheel off, or the tire off the rim. Next you want to remove the valve. So if we can get that shot here. So you got your valve right here. You're going to remove the valve core, not the valve itself. So just valve core remover. So what you're going to want to do here now is you're going to want to break the bead. This particular tire does not have a wheel sensor, but if you have a wheel sensor, they're usually attached onto the valve stem here. Some of the older Fords had like a strap going around the center of the rim, so it's a little more easier doing this part. So you want to make sure you don't, if this had a sensor, you don't want to damage that sensor. So you want to make sure the valve is out of the way of the arm. Make sure it's busted all around. Do the back side. Again, just making sure you're clear of that valve in case there's a sensor. Just wanted to show you this part. You got your 3 pedals down here. This pedal, it's going to open the claws. So that's going to clamp your wheel in place. Put your wheel up there, clamped in. So the way this arm works, you just push this down to where you need it, then you clamp it in place like that. Okay, so what you're going to do now, you're going to lock your arm in place there, and take your bar that comes with these. That's the bar they use. And you go in under the tire right there, pull the rubber up over. You want to make sure that your valve is over this way, so that in case you have a pressure sensor, you don't damage the sensor. Again, you want to lift the tire up over the sensor to get it off. So then, around. Sometimes the bottom bead here might stick on a little bit. So when you're doing the second bead, you want to pull up, completely pull up on the tire. I'll just show you what I'm doing here. So you want to grab it with one hand, just pull the whole thing up like this. So that makes it way easier to get the bar in around here and pull that second bead up over. You can get stuck. You can get jammed up pretty good here if you got like the tire half sitting on one way and half the other way. So the easiest thing is just lift the whole thing up. After you get this lifted up, put your bar in under the second bead, flip that up over. Off you go. Release that handle. Here's your rim. So I thought I had an old sensor to show you what I'm talking about. A lot of you probably do know what I'm talking about, but for those that wouldn't, the pressure sensor would be connected right on the bottom of your valve stem right here. So that's why it just kind of hangs down here. It's like a little rectangle. And so it's very easy to damage while you're you know, changing over tires, so you really need to watch out for that for anyone who's just maybe starting out. So you're going to want a steel brush. So as you can see, I need a new one. This one has seen quite a few quite a few of these. So this is like a brand new wheel really, so it almost doesn't even really need it, but you're going to want to go around the rim, just scraping off any of the old corrosion and but this one's smooth, it's brand new, so it doesn't even need it. You can almost just give it a wipe with a rag if you really needed to. If it's really bad, you'd have to get a mini grinder and just grind all the corrosion and everything that's all around the rim and grind it off, then you're good to go. So we're ready for our new tire. In this case, I'm just going to put the same one back on. You can get proper tire lube for this. I just use soapy water and I have a paintbrush. So there's also like a proper brush for this as well, but that's a long story. Mine disappeared. So for a while I was just using a toothbrush too, actually. But so just want to get that soaked up. Okay. So if you got directional tires, you want to make sure they're in the proper direction. It will be marked on there. These are just regular all-season tires. So you want to angle this down this way, bring your arm over. Again, you're probably sick of hearing me talking about it, but the valve is right here. You want to make sure now this time that it's over on that side, so that when the tire gets to the part where it pops on, it's not going to touch that sensor and damage it. So now I'm in position. Sensor is making its way around to the back again. So now the tire is just going to touch the rim around the other areas. So now you're going to want to, there's little nuances to this that you just pick up as you go from experience, just to make it easier, because you can get the tire jammed on there pretty good sometimes. So at this point, when you're doing the second bead, you're going to really want to push down on the tire right here, and that'll make it go on a lot easier. If you don't do that, it'll get jammed up. Sometimes you really need to shut down. That one wasn't too bad. I'm going to try to, okay, so we're ready to blow this up. So I'm hoping it's just going to blow up without me having to touch the tire, just so you can see what happens. So I have a air gauge right here. It's not 100% accurate. I usually double check with a different gauge afterwards. So I put this here. Lots of times you have to wrestle with this a little bit just to get it to pop, just to get it the seat on the rim there. But we'll see what happens here. There we go, perfect. So I got about 35 pounds in there. This car probably takes 30 or 32, anywhere around there you're fine. So now you just, I'm going to pop this off and then screw the valve core back in here before all the air escapes. That's it. You can double check the pressure. This is reading 30 on this machine. Like I said, you'll double check that. So then release it. There you have it. So there you have it, fully seated, inflated tire. So the next step on this is going to be to balance this, and I'll probably make the balancing into a separate video, just so we're not running, so you can just check that one out separately. There you go.